Welcome to Black Spring on your Monday. I do apologize. The announcement said 10 a.m., but I'm sorry I'm so late. But we just have just a few stories just to start off your Monday. And I think by now it's not really a surprise that many Americans are really getting to a tipping point or teetering on it's beyond frustration. It's beyond frustration over the lockdowns, the shelter ins, the hunker down under your tables. It's getting beyond that point. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn, and thank you so much, Chrysler Imperial, for coming in and for all that you do. So with that said, I'd like to kick off with just a couple of stories. Now here again, we've seen all across America, we're seeing more of the business owners that are willing to go beyond. Well, they're going beyond. They're doing a form of civil disobedience, and no one that I've seen has advocated for any type of violence. So things are still, as far as I'm concerned, they are still at on a civil level of disobedience. However, I want to start off with something very specific for your views this morning. Shout out to Derek C. Williams. Thank you so much, Derek C. Williams, for tuning in. I really appreciate you for being here. Also, shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. So let's just start out with just a little bit. Let's go to the East Coast, in which we have something that I find that's we have some standout Americans, and this is another small business owner. It's a gym owner, a New Jersey gym owner. It's Attila's Gym in Belmar, New Jersey, and I think he's had enough, and he's going to defy his governor Phil Murphy's pandemic or crowd disease closure order. So this is actually a little bit up to the minute. This comes out of, Philadelphia's sister channel-ish of sources. So let's go ahead and roll this. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Looks like we're dealing with no sound here. Hang on. Sorry for the technical difficulty here. Not sure where I have them. Oops. I will fix it right up here. Sorry about that.
Camden County from getting back in business, even though he's violating the state's order. NBC 10's Katie Zachary's live in Belmar, where customers are inside that gym right this second. Katie.
Keith, that's right, they are. And then conversely, the people you see behind me, this large group that's gathered in front, those are not the people who are here to work out. Instead, the people who are waiting to get inside the gym are lined up around the building. They're being let in very small groups. So this large group you see here, they are supporting the owners in their early reopening of their business. It is...
Shout out.
There's
Good
a little
morning.
glimpse of it. It's been a morning full of chants, cheers, and support for small business owners like those behind Attila's Gym, who are defying New Jersey's stay-at-home order and reopening before Governor Phil Murphy has given them the official okay. Belmar police showed up and have blocked off most of the parking lot, acting so far as crowd control more than anything else. The gym owners say they're not worried about any consequences they might face for opening early. They say they're confident in their 15-point safety plan for gym members who would like to work out during this pandemic. COVID-19, though, has hit close to home for one of the owners. He tells us his mom tested positive after moving into a rehab center recently, and just on Friday, he had to take her off of life support and says he can't even see her in her final days.
If I went and see her, I wouldn't be able to do this because I would have to self-quarantine. And my mom would kick my if I didn't finish this.
And coming up in our next half hour, we will talk more about what Adalis Gym right here that you see here in Belmar is doing, their extensive safety plan to help keep people who enter that gym safe. And also, we have reached out to Governor Murphy's office to find out what kind of penalties will be assessed on the business or what kind of consequences the business owners could face for going against this executive order and reopening early. We haven't yet heard back.
Okay, I'd like to thank everybody so much for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. I'd like to take an opportunity to shout out everyone that's actively, or if you're
That isn't
inactively.
stopping one gym owner in Camden County from getting back in business.
Sorry about that. I'm actually on YouTube right now, so let me go ahead and I am on YouTube Direct, if I might say that. I will go over to maybe the second half of this. I'll probably go over to another platform, but I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. And just to say that I want to go ahead and do the shout out for the people, the subscribers that are in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I'll start with Chrysler Imperial H. I really appreciate you for being here. And Derek C. Williams, you are most generous. And I thank you so much for your support and for all that you do. I appreciate you for watching us out of the city of brotherly love. I love the caveat there that you always bring a nice element to the stream. Actually, also shout out to Alien Believers. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well on your Monday morning. Shout out to Jung Yong and Kajok watching from South Korea. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming in. All of my subscribers and friends from abroad, you are always welcome here. Also, shout out again. Yes, and I would like to comment. Derek C. Williams, you said the reopen on PA is serious. They are not playing. I can see it's starting to, things are going to heat up. It's already running hot. It's running hot right now, in the words of my grandmother. It's been running hot for a long time. And your concern, Derek C. Williams says, my fear is how government will react. And he says, true, going to the hospital, you're on your own, no visitors. Wow. This is tremendous. This is unprecedented, I have to say right off. Also, shout out to Alien Believers. He says, bless them. And once again, Derek C. Williams says, so-called birthplace of freedom. And ditto dear from Alien Believers. All right, guys, I really appreciate you for being here. Just a little bit of to tag on to where you guys are. So the thing about it is absolutely, I want to echo shout out to Derek C. Williams. Yes, you're right. How will the government react? Because I can only see that this is going to grow. There's going to be a movement. There's going to be more movement, and unfortunately, some people have even said that they believe that you're going to see a force. You're going to eventually see a force. I don't know whether to say the sheeple or the people that are beyond. We are beyond the wake up point. We are beyond the wake up point. I mean, what can I say? Dear Mr. and Mrs. Media, you are the enemy of the people. Nobody respects them. In fact, I have already started to see many of these protesters. They are going at them. I'm telling you, it's getting hot. It's going to get hot for them. And I've also heard a few friends say, that of course the police officers, they're going to have to choose. These people that are in these uniforms, wearing these U.S. flags, put your shields down, put them down. You're going to have to choose. You're either going to, what can I say it like this? You're either going to ride with us or you're not. You're either with us or you're against us at this point. because before long it's going to be, before long it's how long until before they become expendable, before they don't need them anymore. Then what do you do with your shields? First responders. I've always respected first responders. I've always had nothing but respect for first responders, and that means that's including, of course, our men and women in blue. I will always respect them, but at this time, these people take an oath of office, and that's not just the first responders, on all levels. On this channel, at least I've tried to convey some level of, at least on the basic levels. We have power, and we have remote powers. Okay, if it's not coming from the top, we have to start with the municipalities, and we have to go up, and that's where the powers are. So I think that's where the heat's gonna come from. In fact, Southern California is fighting back hard. The SD, San Diego's fighting back because they do not want the extremes that are happening in LA. They do not want what's happening. There's been protests at administration buildings this weekend. There's some meetings set up for the end of the month. And this is not going away. I don't think, I mean, I get concerned. I can't say that I'm optimistic about the outcomes of these things, but I don't think the people are going to lay down. I really don't. I really don't think they're going to lay down. And I don't know if there's going to be any kind of intervention. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be, if there's going to be, a military force that's going to come behind this, or I don't know. But I don't see this going very well. I can also say that after I spoke with somebody, the power outages and things are already happening from a friend of mine. I want to make sure I get that correct. I'm pretty sure because he came on the other night. It was Snapzilla. He came on the other night. The definition, he came on the other night. Basically said, look, we've already experienced a 4 to 5 hour power outage. Okay, so with all these people at home in a city like LA, where you got approximately 4 million people, what kind of power grid is going to sustain that amount of people? Let me go ahead and read some of my comments. I really appreciate everybody. Shout out to you, Derek C. Williams, and Chrysler Imperial H. Chrysler, what did you say? I'm going to start with Chryslers and go down. I won't miss anybody. That's why I won't go to the hospital unless I absolutely have to. I'm taking their, unless I absolutely have to, I'm taking there by ambulance. Well, I understand, Chrysler. I understand. And, it's like you got to have the side eye. You got to have the side eye on your own health care right now, because, they're going to stamp your application. They're going to attach all of your applications. It seems like this, I'm going to be honest, this pandemic crowd disease to me is going to be stamped to every application almost. It seems that it's going to be a new, even a social, they're creating a social paradigm behind this thing, or it's under the guise of this thing. Alien Believer says, it's sad how they cancel everybody's doctor's appointments and the other health is gone down, which is going to cause death on its own. Absolutely. If you miss your appointment, I would recommend, if you have a specialist, go to your specialist, but don't go to, I wouldn't say, these urgent care, these ERs, I just think that those are camps, the camps themselves, they're not, I wouldn't go. I'd do everything I can to avoid going there. But honestly, that's not a reflection of what's going on now. I think some of those places are just, they've got, to me, it's almost like urgent care is just a little bit a step above the summer of residencies for some of these hospitals right about now. You don't know who you're going to get. So I certainly wouldn't go anywhere where they can't even get a strep test correct. And I've had that experience myself. They can't even figure out whether or not you have strep throat, much less you want them to treat you for something else if you have a pre-existing condition. Right on to Derek C. Williams, quote, we're back, vaccine or no vaccine, quote from the president. I was reading this morning that he is now backing away from forced vaccines. Well, we'll see. Right. That's the thing that makes me nervous. But even more than that, if you don't do this vaccine, then what does that mean? You know, they're saying you could. I think I've heard that he said that you could opt out of it in a previous conference, but then what if you do? What are the consequences? Are we going to then go back to the states' rights and say, oh, well, you know, let's kick the can back down the road now. Let's go and say, oh, well, the states can tell you what they will allow. You know, anybody that was ever confused about the way these things work, you're going to be even more confused by now. It's just not, it's a sticky mess. Shout out to Britt's Gaming channel. And shout out to Chrysler Imperial H as well as Derek C. Williams. I really appreciate your guys' loyalty. Thank you so much for being here this morning. This is something that I'm going to commit to doing, trying to do it's going to be called Brunch Dream News, and it will be something that I will do regularly, and I will try to bring you those stories that are, I think these stories are going to be, it's going to be a pile on. It's a pile on kind of time. And many stories are not getting reported. So there's definitely enough news out there in which, you know, you can, you know, if you haven't heard it, you will hear it. And the only way you're going to hear it is, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, is by coming onto either independent sources or us, you know, reporting news amongst ourselves and vetting, you know, sources as much as we can. So I really appreciate that. But then I will say I'm going to go to another something that I thought was pretty remarkable. I don't watch a lot of Fox News, but this one is going to come from Jesse Waters. Also, if you guys could please hit those like bells or buttons or subscribe, and even if you dare share this, that's helpful. And I just want to make one mention also. I'm building up on D Live, but also this week I am rolling out the Black Spring Rewards program. That is a program that will be on Patreon. There will be a couple of extra things that I will offer on Patreon, and there will be things that I can say that I can deal with on Patreon and which I cannot deal with here. There's of course there's a different level, at least some options there for you. So you pick what's best for you. But what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to continue to do what I do here. The playlist program will always continue on this channel, but also on the Patreon, the Black Spring Rewards will have some extra things. And of course, those things will eventually get here, but those things are going to come there'll be a few extra perks there that you'll have access to. And you know, choose what's best for you. You're always valued here on Black Spring. I don't ever want you to get the impression that, you know, you're only welcome, you're only as good as a subscriber if you opt to pick up a membership. But here, of course, in the model here on YouTube, you know, they run the roost, they call the shots. I'm not a monetized channel, but I figure why not offer you something. I don't need their endorsement to offer you a membership and offer you a thanks and just some gesture for being loyal on my channel. So I will be rolling that out today, and I'll also be dropping the link for that later. So let's go ahead and hop into another angle on my next live stream. I will do another stream tomorrow, which we'll deal with some more. We'll do a little bit more on the policy on the next Black Spring live stream tomorrow. So I'll give a preview on that. But let's go ahead and hop on to this next stream in which I have something. There's a friend of mine. He has a great channel. And just want to share a little thing, you know, something from Jesse Waters. You know, Fox, you know, they kind of, to me, they kind of start to look like a little bit of a sister channel of CNN at times. But I do appreciate the compilation that a friend of mine has put together, as well as it came, you know, from Waters World. It's a program on Fox. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. So I'll bring you a little bit of Waters World. And thank you so much for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. So you can hear just a little bit of my friend's voice in the background, but for the most part, I'll try to keep it to the points here.
They work for you. They don't tell tyrannical. Like I said, listen to this.
Governors better start lifting these lockdowns. People aren't going to take it anymore. There's a rebellion brewing. Remember how the Tea Party got started? The battle cry over the bailouts, Rick Santelli from the floor of the stock exchange?
This is America. How many of you people want to pay for your neighbor's mortgage that has an extra bathroom and can't pay their bills? Raise their hand. How about we all... President Obama, are you listening?
Oh, hell no.
The same energy is out there today. You can feel it. Here's Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, not a political guy, putting into words the way you feel.
When did this become flatten the curve, flatten the curve, flatten the curve to we have to find a cure or everyone's going to die? Like Fauci. Seems like a nice enough dude. I've always been like, oh, no agenda.
The devil in disguise.
Looks like he could be maybe the grandfather
Working
and
for
Wedding
Bill out of
Crashers.
Hell Gates.
Gets in front of the Senate. He's like, we reopen the country too quick. Everyone's dead. People have jobs who've worked their whole lives off to put food on the table, create a happy living. They're just going to go out of business. They're going to wake up whenever this thing ends, whenever the mayors say, oh, you can go back to work. Work to what? Your company's going to be out of business. The economy's going to be... There's going to be no jobs. There's risk. We're Americans. You have to take risk. If people want to go out, they can go out. If they want to stay in, they stay in. We've done what you've said. You can't just midstream be like, just kidding. Flatten the curve, flatten the curve. Cure. What? We have no chance if you don't let people go outside. This country is going to be donezo. No one's going to have jobs. No one's going to have businesses. It's going to be done. It's over. Let me roll the dice and play with Corona, or at least give me the choice. That's all we want.
Dave's right. We flattened the curve. The deadliest day in America was over 3 weeks ago. There's hospital beds galore. We have 1 billion masks. More ventilators that we know what to do with. We're sending them to India. The plan was to lock it down and buy time. Well, we bought the time, and it cost us everything. And now they're saying, no, time's not up yet. Yeah, it is. You can't force us to commit economic suicide. We sacrificed everything to protect the sick and elderly, but now we can't protect ourselves. Americans are getting angry.
I like you.
Here's my
I
man
like
Vic.
you, Jesse.
You told us to shut down non-essential
This is my
businesses.
boy.
You told us to go home and quarantine. You told us we have to keep social distance and stay inside. But you told us you would help. So where is the help? These checks are what they are. I mean, let's be serious. I'm not going to turn away $1,200 because, number one, if you're going to give it to me, I'm taking it. And number two, it's our money, not yours. It's ours.
It's our money.
Pay that
That's right.
taxes for everything we do every day.
They act like they doing us a favor.
Clean. I'm saying to just add the missing mortgage payment to the back end of
That's
everyone's
right.
loans. Do it for everything.
They
The
too
car lease is
stupid to
now
do that.
3 months longer. The credit card payment is now 3 months longer. The mortgage payment is now 3 months longer. You want to help the American worker? You could eliminate all payments due until this is over.
That's
That
right,
way unemployment
Banks.
and stimulus checks would only be needed for food. That is what the American family needs now. That would help us.
The 1,200 isn't going to cut it. That was supposed to last a month, which it wouldn't anyway, but now we're 2 months in, and governors are tacking on another month.
Yeah, right.
States had already flattened the curve. This is easy math. Even I can do it.
They can't do
And
it.
if you try to survive, the government squeezes the life out of you. Politicians are telling people to snitch on small businesses just for opening up. The LA mayor is threatening to shut off the power and the water to small businesses who open up. Women are getting arrested for cutting hair. People are getting pulled over, fined for going to church, busted for being on a beach or a playground. Politicians are ordering police to do this. Seattle officer Greg Anderson has a message for those officers.
We need to start looking at ourselves as officers and thinking, is what
And I
I'm
heard he got
doing
fired.
right?
He should sue
Now, I wanna
Seattle for
remind you that
everything they
regardless
got.
of where you stand on the coronavirus, we don't
He
have
upholding the
authority
Constitution.
to do those things to people
His oath.
just because a mayor or a governor tells you otherwise. These officers that are going out here and enforcing these tyrannical orders, what they're doing is they're making my job and my safety, or they're putting my job and my safety at risk. Because what you're doing is you're widening the gap between public trust and law enforcement officers. I'm afraid that these actions are going to wake a sleeping giant, i.e. the American people, okay? They are going to be put in a position where they won't have their rights trampled anymore.
Think about it. Our government rests on this principle. Ready? The consent of the governed.
Thank you.
That's where our government gets its
Say
power.
that again.
In March, we agreed to lock down.
That's right.
We didn't obey an order.
That's right.
We're not peasants.
We're not peasants. We're not slaves.
The government can't lock us down day after day after day. We don't consent.
We don't
you can't
consent.
trample our rights with no end in sight.
That's right, people.
We have rights that we get from above. And when the government destroys these rights,
Sarge been telling you
we have
this
the
for
right
how
to
long?
change that government or abolish it.
That's right.
That's in the
We abolish you.
Declaration of Independence.
Stop paying in your taxes. Stop
The
paying
American
you our
media
money.
should understand this freedom more than anyone, but they don't. The press loves the lockdowns.
Because
They attack
communists.
protesters. They attack states that open.
They listening to their masters.
And when a brave business, the UFC, and their partner Endeavor put on a fight the other day.
Check this out.
With testing, with sanitizing,
I love
and
Dana
no
White.
crowd, the New York Times, of course, writes a hit piece. It reads, UFC's coronavirus plan is terrible.
Screw
Its
you, New
enforcement
York
has been
Times.
spotty.
Enemy of the
And the story
people.
was filled with fake
Propaganda.
news, all negative.
Lies.
UFC President Dana White was asked about it.
Check it.
There was an article in the New York Times today that was very critical of the execution.
That guy. That guy. This guy who, and this paper covered the UFC when they'd never covered it before. What do you think happened?
Piece
I'm
of
giving
shit.
what that guy thinks, what he has to say, or what he writes. Good for him. He's pulling good traffic.
So you don't worry about the
I don't give a.
Okay, I think you guys get the drift on that. I mean, I don't know. What say you guys? You know, how much more locking down? You know, how much more locking down are we gonna do? So shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Yes, shout out to I'm here, I'm back. So shout out to everybody. I just wanted to share that that video that came from Water's World, and just all the, you know, just the compilation of those. You know, these are stories that you're not going to hear on the mainstream. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I'm going to go through a few of these comments. Let's see. So shout out to the definition of anarchy. Shout out to Derek C. Williams again. Shout out to Chrysler. Let's see. You said, confirm the Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is down for everyone to get $1,000 a month. Ugh. Yuck. A universal basic income is a socialist in nature. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Derek C. Williams, the definition of anarchy, is down with us. Yes, he is. Thank you so much. And I am here. And Vic, yes, Derek C. Williams. If you might, I might come and ask if I might share your video on Vic, the comedian. You did do a video on him. Salute to him. Shout out, shout out to Chrysler Imperial. And Derek C. Williams, I hear in California folks are telling on people who cough or sneeze. You know, it's so Germany, so 1936. So this is, the culture of this place is changing. The culture of the place is changing. People that fought wars, they fought the wars only to come here, to come home to it. People are getting fed up. Like I'm telling you, I just don't think that this is going, it's not going, I'm not feeling optimistic about this. You know, I'm not being a negative Nelly, a Nancy negative, or Debbie Downer, but we got to get real. It's ugly. It's an ugly situation. But it's been going on for a long time, and I'm what I will say is it's because the people, we've been tolerant of it. We've tolerated it too long. And if I can paraphrase, the founders, if we tolerate the ignorance from the government, then pretty much that's what this is paraphrasing. This is exactly what you're going to get. If we tolerate the unintelligible things that come out of them, the legislation that comes out of them, then that's exactly what we're going to get. I'm also going to do a preview later on the next video, or at least be somewhat of a preview. But we're gonna take a look at some of these people's voting records. I think that's important. They're constitutional. We don't have a lot of freedom voters, freedom fighters in the government. Not in these congressmen, not in the Senate, not in the House. We've got a lot of people that vote globalists, they vote against the Constitution all the time. They vote against freedom all the time. They vote for expansion of government. They're voting for these contact or contract tracers. They're voting for all of these things. They're violating Fourth Amendments. They're violating Second Amendments. They're violating First Amendments. They violate everything that resembles freedom. I mean, is it ignorance or is it arrogance? Which one is it? And why are we tolerating it? We're at the breaking point. This is our last chance. It's our last chance. Derek C. Williams, at the consent of the governed, will throw off said government. All true, Chrysler Imperial H. Hybrids Gaming Channel, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also, I'm going to, the Patreon channel will be, the Patreon platform will be open today. So you go there, look around. I'm also going to be, there's going to be some perks on there. Also, those perks, things things will happen here. But I'm just doing this for reasons for the channel. There's things that I'm trying to bring to the channel. It's more of a nominal, it's more of a nominal kind of a thing. You can do if you want. If not, that's okay too. I will also be dropping my playlist of the week, people, into the stream. And also there's some perks on that program. So it's just going to be Black Spring Rewards. And Derek C. Williams, no mask worn by a majority of folks in Philadelphia. Wait until the temperature rises even more. I foresee the mask as a new cigarette butt. They are all over the ground here. Absolutely. I'm seeing that here. I'm actually seeing that here. But I think, San Diego's revving up. I think San Diego's I think they're ready to step it up. They're going to step it up by the pen. They're going to step it up. Some people are going to step it up by the sword. Some people are going to step it up by the pen. I think it's all happening. It's all happening. And Chrysler Imperial says, yeah, they had a NASCAR race yesterday with no fans in the stands. He said, you may use what you like. Let's see. Alien Believers. I'm Canadian, married to an American woman, and I agree with everything your Constitution says. It is they're breaking your own Constitution. Derek C. Williams, bull riding in Oklahoma, no fans. Kentucky Derby and the Preakness will be ran in the fall. No fans wanted. Wow. So I think the pushback is going to ramp up. I think we had a gym owner out here. We had a gym owner to open up on Saturday. And I don't think that the cops went at these people. I think they're starting to see, like, look, how long will it be before you are expendable, or they don't need you anymore. When you take that off, you're just one of us. You're still one of us, but you're going to have to get your loyalty together. And I mean, and then as somebody else said, do they take an oath of a different constitution? I mean, somebody help me out. Is there more than one constitution circulating around out there? Is there? I mean, maybe there is. It's not, contrary to popular belief, I've heard the governor of California say that, that in the preamble, if you will, this is a living and breathing document. Well, not the United States Constitution. That's not a living and breathing document. It's not. And I'm going to tell you, there's a couple of things. We could name many things that are not living and breathing documents. It does not change with time. Truth doesn't change with time, and nor does history change with time. So what exactly are these people, who are they quoting? Anytime you try to understand, anytime the American people that have pushed back try to understand what they're trying to do, trying to understand the ways of their world or question it, they want to basically call it libel or defamation. Well, I think it's going to be, now that the left, the media, and all these people have joined forces against America, I think America is about to join forces against them. I think they are being outed. They are going to get heckled at these rallies as things continue to heat up. They're going to catch the heat too. You want to rally against freedom and liberties? You're gonna get some heat too. You can hang in this kitchen too and get the heat too. So we have another comment here. Alien Believer says, yeah, truth is its way of showing their dominance on us. Anyone that knows any info and knows the mask is not working for the purpose they're trying to say it works for. Well, the thing about it is that Fauci has been caught contradicting himself. I don't know how we can still have so many sheeple with the man being on. These people are on camera contradicting their own hype. They don't even believe the things that they're saying. And you notice that you're starting to see more of them wearing masks now. All of a sudden, more of these press people are wearing masks, or more. The minute they think nobody's looking, they've got their mask off. So if you got a visual if the visual expose is not enough for the sheeple, I don't know what is. But I do know that this is not going to last. It's not going to end very well. But like I said, what I will do is I will go on to StreamYard later. And I'd love to, of course, I'd like to hear from you guys. We'll probably I think I'll have a Q&A session as well on StreamYard. And I want to stay on topic. I kind of like doing this stream because I'm a little less. I'm of an artistic background, an audio and a visual person, so I can be enticed a little bit by visuals and more and different types of audio. So it just seems like StreamYard is a little bit. StreamYard's great, but it can be more distracting for me, I think, just because of the type of the learner or the presenter that I am. But trust me, my convictions are no less on between the two platforms. I just wanted to say that. But also, I will be dropping the link for the membership and all that is going to be launched. I will launch that later today, and you can go over there, take a look around, see what you see, and like I said, you'll be welcome just as well either way. So please come over, have a look around. I'm actually I'm going to be trying to offer at least a guest a month, at least one guest a month I'm going to be doing, and that's for the entire channel. Everyone will get to see, of course, have a guest on the channel, but just expanding some things via the membership. But I appreciate everybody's presence for being here. Just being here is support for the channel. Just you coming in and giving me some channelytics, like hitting a like button, hitting an unlike button, hitting a share button, giving me a comment, giving me a concern. This is all activity. I mean, I'll continue to play. I'll play the game. I'll play by their rules. But I'm also not going. I'm going to tell you, I didn't start this channel to be squelched by their PC police or their little I'm not, I'm not going to conform. So I noticed that I played something from Schoolhouse Rock the other day, and all I heard was photographs being taken the whole time. Like their copyright narcs are all over the place. But I think this is also going to be, some people are about to be exposed. And I'm not even just talking, I'm not even going into deep state and any of that. So people are going to be exposed, and it's going to be some household names, some household names associated with big tech or some of the technocracy that's going on. People call it big tech. It's also technocracy. We'll get into that one day. In fact, I might even that might be a part of, have somebody come on and deal with some technocracy a bit. Just real quick, let me get back to some comments here. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you guys for sharing me out. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H for sharing me out. Shout out for Derek C. Williams for sharing me out. Because I'm telling you, it even takes a bit of courage, it seems, for people to share people out these days. Share them out. Like I said, because I think maybe I'm slightly at less risk because I am not monetized. I don't have the blessings of the powers that be as of yet. But, it is what it is. There's no time like the present. And I do believe that we are living history right now. And history is not going to be, history is going to judge what's going on. And either it'll be kind or it won't be. But it is what it is. So shout out to Alien Believers. Yeah, the hot mic that was caught in the White House briefing room. Derek C. Williams says, take off your mask, Fox anchor on a hot mic. Yikes. Yeah, it's just, come on, give up the con. They're not going to give up the con. They won't give it up until they're caught with their hands in the cookie jar. That is the deal. That is the deal. So we're just going to keep dripping the truth along, and then, maybe it'll drop on some of these people. Let's see. Derek C. Williams says, I have noticed that too. Folks are shook to share good information, not Derek. Derek, I've seen that. I support other YouTubers. In fact, I will tell you, I support more, since I've been on doing my channel, I support more of the smaller YouTubers, it seems, these days, because I just think it's the thing to do. And I have no problem sharing out a small YouTuber. And I don't. If you're speaking the truth, why wouldn't I share you out? But some people do. They have an issue. They cannot do it. They're afraid. And I just think that united, we can't lose. That's the only way. That's the only force I think that's going to make the biggest impact, is if we are united. We can't, you have to. So I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the chat, in the live stream. I think this is a pretty good time. So actually I like this time. Even though I was late, I will not be late again for the brunch stream news. I will not, because I think this is a good time. And I really appreciate everybody for coming over on this time. Like I said, I will be back later today. And I will be dropping the links for the membership program. And also I'm going to go ahead and drop a few links right now, just based on the loyalty here. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Oops. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. And the definition of anarchy, aka Snapzilla Gorilla. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Derek C. Williams. Shout out to Brett's Gaming Channel. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys for being here. And I'm going to be dropping some links right now into the stream. So, you know, always, if you can, look around and take a look and see if you find a kindred spirit. Find a kindred spirit somewhere. If you like something on somebody's channel, that's always great to do. This is not a growth stream, but I don't discourage people. You can make your connections on a covert kind of a level. You don't have to be, you don't have to, shake them up, rock everybody's world when you come in. You don't have to be disruptive with it. It's kind of like, sneeze and sneeze into your arm or cover your arm or something. This is Chrysler Imperial H's. I'm going to drop some. Right now I'm going to drop random links because you guys have been supporting me, and that's all that matters. That I appreciate you guys for the support that you've shown. And like I said, I'm in the beginning stage, but you typically grow together. Whether you're sharing information, I think I can learn something from everyone. I think that's one of the most powerful things that I've learned, is that I can learn something from everybody. It doesn't matter. And if I don't, and then I can fact check it, I can vet it, I can go and do my own research and decide for myself. But I'm not here to shut anyone down. We all don't think alike. I don't want an echo chamber on my channel. I want to put out as much as I can in as much factual or historical context or in a policy context as I can, and you go from there. You just take it from there and you do what you will with it. But I appreciate the support of everyone. So I'm going to drop a few channels into the stream right now. The playlist. I'll probably drop a couple of other channels as I'm a little bit behind on my playlist for this week, but it's only because I've started working on the membership. But I will honor my current people and those to come. So shout out to Snapzilla Gorilla, aka The Definition. So I will be dropping a few more into the stream. So please make sure you take a look around and see what you're interested in. So for one, we may very well have a guest this week. I'm working on that. It's either be this week or next week, but definitely in June as well. So just stay tuned. The community tab will be another place where you can find things, but I do think that Monday mornings will be a part of a good way to start out my week on the channel. And of course, bring you guys into. Of course, I am not going to not do StreamYard. I just wanted to do the presentation in this way. So there, and I'm also going to drop Derek C. Williams and Nacon Shop. Nacon Shop is another. He's very consistent in support, so I will be dropping that as well. So thanks to everybody for coming in today. If you have something that you want to contribute, or I'll also be creating polls. That's something that's going to come up on the community channel. And there'll be some cross-channel kind of things. But I really appreciate everybody for coming in, and know that you are valued here on Black Spring. So I will tell you just a sneak peek here. We're going to get into some of these bills, some of these resolutions. We're going to talk a little bit about why things are important. I think many people don't understand why things are important. Why is a bill important? Or why is this bill not Why is it not serving you? You know, we're not being, the representation, we are being misrepresented. And I think we have a lot of rhinos. We have a lot of, you know, of course, Democrats, rhinos, the swamp, whatever you want to call them, the slush team, whatever you want to call them. To me, they're all pretty much, they're kind of falling into the same, they're falling into the same kind of they're the same compromise. They're globalist. You know, they're not freedom fighters. There you have more activists acting, but they're not acting with our best interest at heart. They're not acting for freedom. They're acting for their special interest, or they're acting to maintain what they've got going on. It's not acting for you and I. Let's see. Okay, so this is, I'm going to drop. Looks like I'm having a little bit of a buffer session going on here. So I might hop over to, this is Derek C. Williams's link I'm going to drop, and I'm going to drop a Nacon Shops. I'm going to drop his link as well. Appreciate you guys for coming in today. It really makes a difference. Thank you for the support. Let's see what's happening there. If you guys see anything that's wonky that's going on out there, let me know. Just let me know. You know, we're at their mercy at all times. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do Nacon Shop, and then I might even hop over for the last few minutes. I might even hop over to the other stream. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna close this stream and hop over to StreamYard for a few moments. In fact, I might even take some questions and answers over there. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you guys for all that you do and all that you have done on this channel.